So about anime fans. A couple of videos ago, I talked about what people consider too old to watch anime. It was about why people think there's a certain age demographic for all of anime, when it's more like there are subcategories that cater to all ages in anime. In the video, I said the reason for this was that there was a vocal minority, and that made it look like that's how most anime fans acted. The ones that give watching anime a bad look. What people think when you think of your stereotypical weeb. The fans that really make consuming anime their entire being. They disregard their own health, and entirely focus on anime as their priority. Usually they own a very large amount of anime figurines, and probably a couple of sword replicas, which sucks because I think it's pretty cool to have that kind of stuff. I met a guy who had his room covered with bouncy posters of One Piece characters. If I had the room to, I would buy a few posters or some other types of merchandise myself, but it's those guys that make it feel weird to have that kind of stuff around. There's lots of different types of anime fans though, not as vocal, but there are a lot of different types out there. So today I wanted to just talk about some of the types of anime fans you can encounter in the wild. Before that though, like and subscribe for future content. Most of the anime fans you'll meet are just a normal type, the ones that just enjoy anime and like to be a part of the communities that come with it. But there are certain types that I noticed stand out from the average anime fan. The first type of anime fans I want to go over are the elitists. In my opinion, these guys could be even worse than the ones I mentioned earlier. For people who act like your stereotypical weeb, at least they enjoy themselves without really caring what others feel about it. I think it's still pretty unhealthy, but they at least have some sense of comfortableness in themselves. It's still not really something I would really praise about, but it's better than an anime elitist. People who are anime elitists are those who just try to alienate and talk down others who watch anime. Mostly people are just starting to get into it and enjoying themselves. If an elitist ever sees someone who likes a more popular series, like Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia, especially if they say it's their favorite series or one of their favorites, they try to unironically shit talk you for what animes you like. And I don't mean just casual type of trash talking. I've seen a lot of scenarios where they made it really personal because someone ended up liking a popular show. They build their ego up on their anime preferences and downplay everybody else's, which is honestly pretty retarded to think about, because you're literally devaluing a person for doing the same thing as you, even if it's just a different genre and something you don't personally enjoy. You're making fun of someone for doing the same thing you are, watching anime. There's lots of people I meet who watch animes that I don't like, but I never tell them anything about it, or try to tell them why the show isn't as good as they think. If they enjoy the show, there's literally zero reason for me to try and ruin that for them. They might change their preferences later on, and end up seeing the show as less than before, but it won't change the fact that in the moment they did enjoy the show. That's basically what happened to me when I watched Fairy Tail. That was one of the first animes I watched, and I ended up enjoying it a lot. I spent a summer watching it, and at the time, I would have probably said it was my favorite anime, or one of my favorite shows I have seen. But then directly after finishing Fairy Tail, I picked up Hunter x Hunter, and by the way, I had no idea what kind of reputation Hunter x Hunter had when I picked it up. I didn't really talk to anyone else about anime, or watching any anime media, so I was just picking up whatever looked interesting to me. My tactic at the time was just to scroll through the popular page of Crunchyroll, and pick out what I thought looked promising. And let's just say that after finishing Hunter x Hunter, my views on Fairy Tail might have shifted a little bit. I ended up seeing Fairy Tail as a show that isn't all that good, to be straight up, but that doesn't change the fact that in the moment, I really did get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I'm glad I didn't have someone tell me how bad the show was when I was watching it. They might have not meant it in a negative way, but they would have killed my viewing experience. If anything, I think it's better if you just find out what shows you like as you go on naturally. You end up showing more appreciation for shows if you experience shows that you eventually grow out of at some point. I don't like Fairy Tail at all at this point, but I appreciate it for what it is and the entertainment I managed to get out of it. If you are this type of fan, you might not even mean it in a negative way, but it doesn't benefit anyone when you devalue other people's viewing experiences. Another type of anime fan that is as bad are gatekeepers. The fans who try to limit who can and can't watch anime, and try to keep it from becoming popular, which is kinda counterproductive, because you will then see those same people complaining about being judged for watching anime. Gatekeepers feel it's their responsibility to make sure only a certain group of people watch anime. They don't like the idea of it being popularized, and complain when they see people talk about anime more commonly. I can't really understand what would make a person want to gatekeep anime, if it's the feeling of wanting it to be more exclusive or what, but there are zero benefits I can see from a person trying to keep an anime exclusive. I guess they feel like people are trying to hop on a bandwagon when they see a lot of people talking about a series that really picks up in popularity, which could be true to some degree, because there are definitely people who would and do watch certain animes just to hop on a bandwagon. But even if they are, that doesn't really affect anyone. If anything, it helps with exposure. and more people will end up watching anime. It's just people making a problem out of something that isn't really a problem at all. Just watch what you want and ignore what other people say about it. That's pretty much all I had to say though. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for future content. Peace.